I'll be comparing the 3 best mid-range device this year. Yes, I know it is still the second quarter and more phones will be released, but as of now, these are the 3 best mid-range device, which is the Samsung Galaxy A56, the Infinix Note 50 Pro Plus, and the Tecno Camon 40 Premier. These 3 phones packs a lot of amazing features, from the design, the body build, the performance, the chipset, the camera, AI and all. Guys, but which one will you be going for? Which one gives you the best value for your money? You guys will find that out in this video. So all you need to do is to watch this video to the very end, okay, and give the video a thumbs up if you love what you're about to hear. And guys, if you're a fan of guys' reviews, then I'm sure you want to quickly and hastily click on the subscribe button below and turn on the bell notification icon so that when I create more tech reviews like this, you'll be first to get notified. And trust me, that is what I do here on my channel. I will create more videos just for you. Okay, so guys, let's get started with the competition. Now we'll start with the unboxing experience. So for the Samsung, well, it's the classic Samsung. We have just the cable, we have the SIM injector tool, and the phone itself. That is all. But for the Tecno Camon 40 Pro, we have charging brick, we have the USB-C cable, we have the case and documentation. Lastly, for the Infinix Note 50 Pro Plus, this went all out. It gave us charging brick, a USB-C to C cable, the case, earphones, and even a bypass charging support. Wow. So now for the unboxing, the Infinix Note 50 Pro Plus takes the win over here. Man, this is going to be a tough part. So now for the design and build. While design is actually subjective, everybody have what they like. I honestly love the design on both the Infinix and the Samsung. I don't know, it just feels so nice. Aside that, the Samsung has Gorilla Glass Victus Plus front and back. It uses an aluminum frame and also has IP67 rating for dust and water. And what this means is if your phone falls inside water, we are safe once you quickly bring it out. Now, Tecno is not even playing with this their Camon 40 Premier. This came out with the IP69 water and dust resistant. You can actually submerge this phone underwater and it is going to survive. Yes, it is that durable. It also makes use of Corning Gorilla Glass 7i, which is one of the strongest on a smartphone today, and also a plastic rear. And for the fact that it uses a plastic frame or rear, it does not mean it does not look premium. Guys, this is very premium and very, very strong. Now off to the Infinix Note 50 Pro Plus. This is an aerospace grade aluminum frame and rear, but only IP64 dust and water resistant. This means that phone can only survive splash of water. So now for the body build and design, while I love the design of the Samsung and the Infinix, the body build goes to the Tecno because IP69 rating, and your phone can actually survive if it's dropped from some distance to the floor. So Tecno takes the win over here. 1 for Infinix, 1 for Tecno, 0 for Samsung. Let's see if Samsung is going to catch up in the next one. Now to the display. Samsung Galaxy A56 has a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED screen. It's a mix of 120Hz refresh rate and has its peak brightness to be 1900 nits. Wow, you can really see what you are pressing even if you are under direct sunlight. This is how bright the phone is going to get. For a mid-range device, this is wonderful. It also mixes of HDR10 Plus, crisp, vibrant, and crazy bright colors. Like when you're watching movies or playing games or anything that has to do with the display, this phone is going to give you top-notch quality. Off to the Tecno Camon 40 Premier. So this mixes of a 6.67 LTPO AMOLED display screen with 1260 by 2800 resolution and 144 Hz refresh rate. This has 1700 nits peak brightness. Now, watching movies or playing videos on this Tecno also, we get the best video quality. Trust me, it is very sleek. Now off to the Infinix Note 50 Pro Plus. So this uses a 6.78 AMOLED display and has 1080 x 2436 resolution with 144 Hz refresh rate. It has 1300 nits brightness, which is smooth and vibrant, but it is not LTPO or Ultra. Now when it comes to the display on the 3 of them, you can see that Infinix is the bomber over here. 1.3 brightness, which is the smallest of them all, It does not use LTPO or even Ultra like the HDR10 Plus we saw on the Samsung Galaxy or the LTPO we see on the Tecno. So I think here is that between the Tecno versus Samsung. For brightness, Samsung wins, but for the sharpness and power efficiency, then the Tecno wins. The Infinix still wins in the refresh rate because even though the Infinix and Tecno has 144Hz refresh rate, it is going to be smoother than that of the Tecno. So I think it's a win for the three of them here, 1-1-1. So currently we have Tecno 2, Infinix 2, Samsung 1. Now for the performance, let's talk about the power. What can this phone handle? Can it handle your gaming? Are you a pro gamer? Can this phone really take all those heavy apps and all? Well, for the Samsung Galaxy A56, it mixes of the Exynos 1580 4nm chipset with Eclipse High 40 GPU, right? For its Antutu score, it is 908,000 and it is smooth for daily using, multitasking and just casual gaming. This means you cannot play so much of those heavy gaming if you're a pro gamer on this Samsung. Well, I think this is a bummer on this, but let's look at the Tecno and the Infinix. So both phones make use of the MediaTek Dimensity 8350 4nm chip with Mali G615 MC6 GPU, both with 12 gig RAM and better cooling. Now, Infinix had to take it even further by giving us bypass charging for gaming. And if you're wondering, what is bypass charging? So, if you're a pro gamer, you're playing games and your phone is about to die, normally you have to quit your game to charge your phone, because if you're playing a game and charging your phone is going to be overheating. And once your phone is overheating, it's affecting the game you're playing, right? But this bypass charging means you can charge your phone while you're playing games and your phone won't overheat. And also has S-Boost AI engine for gaming optimization. So right now, if you're a pro gamer, you know the way you want to take. Now, I had to go further making research on both chips for the Samsung and Tecno and Infinix. I found that the chipset is number 19 on the list of top 180 chipset you can use on the smartphone this year, 2025. But guess what number Samsung Exynos is at? 34. And I'm like, no, now Samsung, you guys would have used probably a Snapdragon, right, to give it more power. Like even the Snapdragon used in the S22 or S23, the base model, is still stronger than this Exynos 1580 you guys used on the smartphone. So pro gamers cannot go for this phone because it will not handle it in the long run. But for the Infinix, it's a plus once more for it. It can handle all type of heavy tasks and all pro gamers. So now we have 3 for Infinix, 2 for Tecno, 1 for Samsung. Should I also add the 1 for Tecno because they both use the same chip? No. Infinix went further by giving us the bypass charging, the Antutu score we saw, and also the S-Boost AI for enhanced gaming performance. So I think it's just still going to be 3-2-1. Let's move on to the next one, which is the software and AI features. So these 3 phones came out with Android 15 from the box. Yes. Okay, but the Samsung Galaxy A56 makes use of One UI 7, Samsung the latest One UI, which my Samsung S23 Ultra, I'm just showing this video right now, does not even have yet. Man, this is a plus. And it's promised 6 years worth of Android updates. Now, when it comes to the AI, this phone also has its own AI, right? We have, Self to Search, Gemini AI, and also Smart Image Tools. Tecno makes of its own OS, which is High OS 15, right? And it introduces Ella AI, a remappable flash now button, and some decent AI tricks for photography and voice control. Lastly, the Infinix makes of its own OS, which is the XOS 15, and also, adds its own AI, which is AI wallpaper generator, smart summary, AI writing, live translate, cross-app voice assistants, and more. But when it comes to the software and the long lasting, right, it goes to the Samsung because it has 6 years, Tecno has 3 years, Infinix has 2 years. So the difference is clear. So finally, we now have 3 for Infinix, 2 for Tecno, 2 for Samsung. Wow, we are getting there. Now for the camera, what can these phones take? So for the Samsung Galaxy A56, we have 50MP main camera, 12MP ultra-wide camera, and 5MP macro camera, plus a 12MP selfie camera. This can shoot videos in 4K at 30 FPS, okay, on all the lenses, and it is super stable. Now when it comes to the Tecno, this carries triple 50MP setup, which is the main camera, the periscope camera, and also the ultra-wide camera. It also has 50MP on the selfie camera. This phone can also shoot 4K videos at 30 FPS and 60 FPS. Lastly, for the Infinix, this has 50MP main camera, 50MP periscope lens, and 8MP ultra wide lens. Now for the selfie, it makes use of 32MP selfie. It can also shoot videos in 4K at 30 or 60 FPS, and it has gyroscope stabilization and EIS. Now when it comes to the camera, I think this goes to Tecno, because it has all 50MPs and all, right? And the clarity of the pictures is just so amazing. Now for the battery and charging, this is where Infinix take the major win. Yes. So the Samsung Galaxy A56 has just 5000 mAh battery and supports 45 watts fast charging. So within 1 hour 15 minutes, your phone is filled up and can last for about 12 hours. Yes. So for Tecno, it has 5100 mAh battery and mixes of 70 watts fast charging. Wow, this is insane. Okay, but it does not accept wireless charging, same as the Samsung Galaxy A56. But now when it comes to the Infinix Note 50 Pro Plus, this has 5200 mAh battery. It accepts 100 watts wired charging. You can charge this phone within 30 minutes from 0 to 100. That is how fast it is. Yes, it makes of 50 watt wireless charging and also reverse wired plus wireless charging. So you can, charge your other devices with this phone, either with your cord or probably wireless. Man, this is insane. And do not forget the bypass charging that this also has, where you can charge your phone while you're playing game and it does not overheat. This is also another feature on the charging. So without any doubts, this goes to the Infinix Note 50 Pro Plus. So now we have 5 for Infinix, 3 for Tecno, and 2 for Samsung. Wow. What else do we have on our list in terms of this comparison? Now for the audio and haptics, these 3 phones make use of stereo speakers and they all sound amazing. Samsung makes use of clean, balanced audio, but there is no headphone jack or even special tuning. Now for the Tecno, this makes use of decent stereo output with 24 bits high-res audio. Now for the Infinix, these speakers were made by JBL, and we all know what we should expect when JBL makes a speaker like one of top-notch audio quality. It has DTS audio, high-res wireless sound, and even haptics for feedback via an X-axis motor. So again, for the audio, you are playing games, you are listening to music, you are watching videos, Infinix takes this win again. That is 6-3-2. Wow. Can Samsung catch up? Can Tecno still meet Infinix? Who knows? Now to the connectivity and extra features. So these 3 phones make use of 5G network connectivity. Yes, NFC, Bluetooth, and a fingerprint under display. Okay, but only Samsung offers eSIM support. The Infinix also includes an infrared blaster, FM radio, and better wireless audio output. Tecno on the other hand has FM radio too, but it lacks haptics and the tuning of Infinix. Now, who takes the win on this connectivity? Well, Samsung takes the win because of its feature possibility of the eSIM, right? But for the haptics and every other feature, Infinix takes the win. So this is 7-3-3. 7-3-3. Hope you're calculating with me over there. Now to the pricing and final verdict. Which one gives you the best value for your money? Which one will you go for? Which one will I go for? All the 3 phones are actually amazing. When it comes to the mid-range device, the price of 3 of them are around 650k, give or take. 640, 650, 670, 680, just around that price, you're going to see these 3 phones, right? So with this price, we can see that Infinix took most of the win, 7-3-3. So it is the best choice to go for Infinix, right? Yeah, and once you've picked Infinix as the winner from everything we've seen, right? Then will I spend around 650k to go for the Infinix Note 50 Pro Plus, or will I go for, let's say, Samsung flagship, or let's say iPhone flagship? Because regardless of all the features here in the phone, a flagship is always a flagship. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare, that is, if I had 650k to spend on the phone today. Now I'm saying this as per what will SmartTips go for once I've picked Infinix as the winner. Infinix is the winner, yes, of this whole comparison. Now, what I'm going to do is I will now compare my Infinix Note 50 Pro Plus versus, a Samsung or iPhone flagship device around that same price. So you have to now ask your vendor how much is maybe the S22 Ultra, or let's say the base S23, or the iPhone what? Is it iPhone 12 or iPhone 13? When you see the phone you're going for, now compare every feature. And I will now know, okay, yes, I'm going for this or this. But honestly, from the look of it, I would most likely go for the Infinix, right? Because of all these features. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Which one will you go for? Regardless of any phone that won, will you still go for the Samsung or the Tecno or Infinix? Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. And to get more info on these phones, I have created individual videos on each of them. Yes, so you can still go and watch all these videos to be sure that yes, you're going for the best phone for yourself, because there I was even more detailed than I am or I was in this video. So I've seen guys in the comment section where we get to discuss which phone you'll be going for between these three phones: the Infinix, the Tecno, or the Samsung. So see you guys.